welcome to my YouTube channel, Walker's Crafts. I am Peace. I make paper beads and I also make paper bead jewelry. You are very welcome. If you're new to my channel, you are welcome, and you're welcome to hit the subscribe button. And if you're an old subscriber, thank you for returning. Thank you for watching. Hi. Today, because I've got so many questions, we're gonna do a very kind of different kind of video. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. Okay, so I have some beads here made from magazines next to me. They're already varnished. So in today's video, we'll be talking about the most common question that I've got from people and from my followers as well, is that they've watched all my videos for a very long time and they seem not to get this exactly the same beads as I do. So I was like, okay, let's maybe have a video of the secrets of making paper beads, so just talk about it. So yeah, so I have a bunch of paper beads. Yeah, so I have also these already. So these already, this is like how I sort them out. So these already like done paper beads, and you can see they're really cute. I like them. And this is always always my favorite, with the mixed colors. And these are just with magazines, so sometimes they're quite different. Some are with this color. Yeah, they're just different. So I have these in particular because we're gonna roll these as well. So yeah, so let's jump into the question. What's the secret of getting good paper beads, or how do you get good paper beads? So yeah, number one, I would say, is the paper, because all papers can make paper beads, but not all paper can make good paper beads. If that really makes sense, is that, for instance, I already have these two kind of paper. This is like, it's thin, but it's not too thin. And I have also a magazine. And so the thinness of the paper also really matters. This is it's a cotton. It's so heavy, but you can also still make paper beads with it. And this, you can also make paper beads, and this. And there are multiple papers. I sometimes have like books. For instance, I got this book and it has all this beautiful glitter and mixed paper. I hope I still have the glitter. Yeah, we have the glitter and a mix of different colors. This book can also make good paper beads, but it also has sides to it because it's not thin, but it's a bit heavy. So the secret, I would say, number one is your paper, the kind of paper you're using. Make sure you have a thin paper if you want to have paper beads like mine. If you want them to be really closed up in, what I say by close up in is, for example, I'm glad I could make this video with this bead. And let me see. Yeah, so this, if you can see the difference, is that when I varnish this bead, there is no more layers of rolling the bead, because when you see this one, it has like 1, 2, 3, 4. You can count them literally because of the, I'll come back to why it is turned out to be like this. And this is so smooth that it blends when it's varnished. And this is what I always like when my paper bead is varnished, that it doesn't show that it was rolled in layers, but when you see at the end, it also still has the layers. And I'll get back to why this is it. So that's number one. Number two is the tool. So tools usually don't matter. That's what I would say. Tools don't matter, but these are easier to use. The paper bead roller, they just make life easier. But I learned to use paper bead with sewing needle, like the most tiniest one. That's how I learned to roll paper beads. So I can roll with them. I can roll with the toothpick. I can also roll with the knitting needle. So the tools don't matter. It's just that what size of hole are you going for, because if you see these two holes, they are quite a bit different. This is tiny and this is bigger, so that's what really matters. So the tool, but that's really not, that's number two. Also the type of glue. So glue is also really important. So in my journey of varnishing paper beads, I've discovered that the type of glue also affects your bead at the end when you're varnishing. So I don't know the chemistry behind it yet, but if you don't have a good glue that you glued around your paper bead, I hope I have, yes, I have one. So I don't know if this is a magazine, so it's not quite easy to see, but when you see inside, there's like a cracking in there, and that is coming because of the glue. So the glue causes a cracking. I really hope it can be seen. But with some beads are just smooth. This one doesn't have the cracking in there. So the glue you use is important. At this point, I had to swap. So at the moment, I use a pen glue because of the liquid of it, but not every liquid glue is also good. It doesn't matter. Paper beads are all nice. You can make them, but if you want them to turn like mine, then the glue also matters. So maybe some glue for you works. For me, I found that these two work. The stick glue and the liquid glue. The varnish, use acrylic varnish. I have a video about varnishes because it's quite also challenging to get the best varnish because some varnishes are good, some are not, and it's a journey. So I understand if you can get a good varnish, but this is the one I use, and unfortunately this is only sold, I think, in the Netherlands. But if you can get acrylic varnish gloss, I think you have a good chance to have good beads, because the only point is they have to be liquid and they have to be really, yeah, it has to be thin, I would say, and this is like that. And also the way you varnish your paper beads, I varnish them. I used to varnish them with dipping method, where I could dip all the beads in the varnish and then I would dry them. But soon with time, I realized that I lost so much beads, and also I don't know, they were sticking together, and I didn't like the sticking together of the beads, because then in the end you had to like break them, because sometimes they may end up like this. So most of the times you had to like watch over them, and that was not really what I enjoyed. So, and I tried the brushing method on a toothpick, and I must say I love it. It takes so much time, but it's worth the time you give per bead. So you end up with having very, very cute beads. And yeah, I don't know, it's rewarding. It's rewarding. I like it. So these yeah, and you see sometimes they have like an extra varnish on top, but these are easy to get because you can just neutralize it like that. I would say neutralize it, but yeah, you just take this off and you just have your bead back, and it's also good. So that's how I do it with the varnish. Some of them really turn out with no need to plug off because I didn't put extra varnish on it, or it didn't drip, so it's good. And yeah, so let's get into the showing. Today is going to be quite a bit long video because, and yes, the most important part after you choose your paper is how you cut your paper. That's very, very important. I don't have careful hands that can cut with the blade, but how you cut your paper really determines how your paper will turn out. That would be number one, my number one. Yeah, that would be number one, how you cut. Number two, which kind of paper you want to use. Number two, how you cut your paper bits. If you cut your paper, no, how you cut your paper. If you cut your paper for making paper bits with pair of scissors, there's a chance that the edges are not the same. So there's no way, if the edges are not the same, that they're also gonna blend in. Because the thing is, it's all about rolling them, and they'll always have these layers, you know. But imagine if they're not all straight, so then they won't go right. So that's why I would recommend have a good paper cutter. If you're really good with your hands for scissors, that's good. But if you found that you use scissors and your paper beads don't turn out nice, then get a paper cutter. It's life-saving. I got mine for 40 euros. I've had it for over 5 years. So I think it's like it's a very good investment, and it just makes work easier. It's just like you you can chop papers in, like, you can chop one page probably in 2 minutes or less. It's just how fast you can go. It's just, it saves so much time, and you're not always careful. You just look at the end and the end and just, yeah. So how you cut your paper also really determines how your paper comes by. Now, when we come to rolling, rolling is also different. So when you're going to roll only one paper, and I'm not sure how this would turn out because I had issues cutting it here because it was thick paper, so it didn't go smooth. So when it comes to rolling, if you're rolling just one paper, that's fine. You can just roll it, which is good. But when it comes to, let's see, yeah, so this is good. This just rolls out really nice. But you can see that it's starting to create these layers. Why? Because the paper is heavy. It's not thin, it's not smooth. So one side will create a smooth side, but still it's a thick paper, so it will create thick edges. And to me, I don't enjoy thick edges. I like having smooth edges. So yeah, so but that's the thing with paper. Any paper can make paper beads, but not every paper can make a smooth paper bead, and I love smooth paper beads. So when I put glue here, there are two things that happen. Either the glue is gonna stick, or I'm gonna first hold it like that and then put it maybe behind, because this is what happens. Because it's thick paper, so you need to keep on rolling. And remember, I said if you have bad glue and when you're varnishing, this glue dries up at the edge. So when you varnish, it looks like it's broken kind of inside. It's whitish, and you don't like that part. So because you need to keep rolling it like this so it can stick, so this whole block, it's literally just full of glue. But if you have good glue, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you don't have good glue, then it's going to be an issue. So this is just when rolling one paper. So that's totally fine. But now the other thing, if you want to start joining papers, you can never join two papers. Is it right? Papers? Yeah. So you cannot join uneven papers. So I cannot say, okay, I'm going to roll stripes and I'm going to roll these two. It will turn out really horrible. Same with also these ones. So I always have to look at which one is wider and which is smaller. So I always push the smaller ones inside and I have the wider ones outside. So in this case, even if the base is the same, but because when you're cutting, it can never always turn out 100% perfect. Sometimes it's the opposite. So when you mix them together, I put them together like this. And so I put the shorter one at the bottom and the long one at the top. So then I have the top one ruling. So what I do is then I start to roll. But of course, you see, it's coming really nice. Just the layers of it that you don't like. I know when you want to have beads like this, then it's fine. If that's what you're going for, sometimes you need to put like colors. Color, you can color the edge, which is fine. But yeah, if that's what you're going for, then it works 100%. But if you're not going for this and this wasn't your aim and you just wanted a smooth paper bead, yeah, then you need to choose another kind of paper. So I've done with this one. So now I need to put some glue. This is going to be a long video because at least I needed to do some more explanations. So yeah, we have this point where we have this, and so I have to glue both sides because it's quite hard. And so yeah, just go around it. And this is like the middle soft. So when this is done, I put it aside. But now we have this heavy one. So this is like a carton. It's a carton one. So I'm curious how it turns out. In this roller, you can't use two of them because only one already consumes it. It's rollable, but still you have the other one, the other layers on it, which is nice. I like the white version of it. So yeah, so that if you're going for something like this, then it's totally fine. But if you want all your beads to also be smooth, because sometimes you like the style, but you want them to be a bit rough edge, you know, so you can varnish them, and or maybe you want to put some colors at the edge, then this paper is good. So I'm done with the cotton. Also, I need to be patient with the edge. I hope it doesn't pop up. Okay, so I have this. So also remember, also every time you finish rolling your bead, you have to balance them. So balancing is also really nice, and also the edges as well. Sometimes push them in, sometimes they go by. So then you have it really also balanced. So, and now let's go with the smooth paper. So if you're using the more soft paper, so I would advise, if you're starting if you're starting to roll paper beads, I would advise you to always start with the thin paper, because it makes rolling easy, and also don't join up so many beads. So I think if you want to roll as a beginner, always go for this size. For this is 1 centimeter. It's the safest paper bead you could ever roll, or go for this one, the small one. This is uh, 1 centimeter. Always go for these two. These two measurements are the best if you're just beginning, and then you can start to add on paper. So the maximum you can always add when you're totally beginning, just add two. You know, to start to roll paper beads that you want to like make it bigger than this, because the thing is, if you're rolling with thin paper and you want it to be this size, that's going to cost you more paper. But if you want to just roll this one and you have thin paper, that's fine. It's going to be a tiny paper. And these big ones, these big cartons are always easy, because like only two stripes, I come up with this big paper bead. So that's really cool. So what happens with the thin ones, you always add more layers. And so what happens with the layers, so you can already see, remember when we said the big ones have to be behind and the small ones have to always come in front. So this is small and this one is big, so it has to go really behind. And so arranging your paper stripes really also determine which kind of bead. And the other thing I also discovered, if you're using a paper cutter, so this is coming straight from a paper cutter, so I didn't like mess them up. So some go this side, so when you're chopping, the other side has the bottom, also this side has the bottom, because some sides have the top. So when you're joining the paper, always try to join this side with this side and this side with this side, because what happens is that the triangles tend to be different. That's what I saw. For me, what I saw is like, so the triangle, so the matching of the papers, it's a bit different. But why? Because then you're rolling paper bead and you like the papers are not matching, because one is going that side and one is going this side, and some are really perfect, some are not. So I discovered, you see, you can see them at the end. So yeah, so I don't know, this is just me, I discovered that and it works. So if you want that, that's a small tip I would give. Just if you cut them, roll the bottom parts on this side by themselves and roll the bottom side by the side by themselves. It's really good. It works. I don't know why, but it does work. Okay, so to make this paper, I need 5 stripes. So the more you have more stripes, the bigger the bead it becomes, but sometimes the thinner it becomes. So I have 5 of them here. It's going to be a long video today, but I really need to make this one so I have it once for all, so I don't have to come back to it and just refer to it. So when I have all my papers in line, see the uniformity of it. I love it. You already see that it's all going to blend in. And that is what I enjoy to see, that all of the paper is just blending in and the paper bead is coming out so beautiful. Look at it. I love that. I don't know. It just gives me so much joy just to see them turn out like this. I already know that, okay, this is going to be a nice bead. And when I varnish it, it's going to be a good bead. So you always, even as you're rolling, always make sure that they are all backing. So always the top is dominating and the other ones are back inside. Just the balance of it. And you go, I really love this bead. I don't know. I think I love smooth edges than the rough ones. That's why, yeah. So if you want to make paper beads like mine and you like the smooth edges, then yeah, the papers that you have to use need to be thin. Yeah, so that will be my tip for it. And this is gonna be a long video, but I really needed to make this one so I can always refer to it for even in the future, so I don't have to make it again. Okay, look at what I was talking about. The smoothness. Look, I love it. Even here, even when if you turn it like this, of course, you even see it's still thin. It blends in, and when you have the varnish, all these are gonna blend it. They're gonna be just like you see this bead, but you don't know where did you roll. See that, but you still can see when you turn it like this. But it's so gorgeous. I love it. So, so yeah. Also, I can also do this. I can also try to make this. Why you need to make the papers really blending. Okay. So we have this. So this is smaller and this is bigger. But they had in the beginning they were all going for 1 centimeter, but because of the cutting, it did not go as planned. So if I put it at the back, you're gonna see how the paper turns out. Pencil, I want the pencil also because of the markings. So I want them just back. So the small one is on top and the big one is at the bottom. So what happened is that, let's go. So you start to see this and that it's not the most good smile you want to see when you're making your bead. I already know that this is a bad bead. The moment I see this, I already like, no, it's not really the bead I'm going for. So I usually just stop. And I realized, okay, this one was bigger than what I thought. And also you can see it also when you put it also still at the bottom if you don't have good beads. So let's put it at the bottom and roll. It also has still big impact, but it's smaller. So you can see the bead has started to become more nicer and the edges are starting to flow in. So that's why you always have to have the smaller ones inside and the bigger ones at the end. And then you have really nice edges. And yeah, so that's for this one. What else? And for the other questions, if you do have questions, just put them in the comment section about paper beads. I'm not a fully expert, but I've made paper beads for over 6 years. So at least I can have something to tell you about it. So yeah, just let me know. Okay, I have this one. So I shake it a little bit. Just, I don't know what happens. So just shake it and just put a little drop because I'm just going to do one. And so I get my toothpicks. I like this method. I get nice beads, and so I would recommend it any day. So what I do is since I need to also balance this bead, I think it's already balanced, I push this inside, and then I always start at the bottom because I have, I can control it. That's what I would say. Like that. When I have this at the bottom, then I can go on the top and then I can start also varnishing it. Sometimes I have to just do that just to seal the whole top. And so you can already start to see that the paper is blending. You already know that this is going to be a very cute bead. And so I just put them on the drying part. I have like this drying part. It's just a foam. So any foam you can use, you just push it on. And let's see how this big one would look like when you're varnishing it. So we have that. This is going to turn out nice. It will turn out nice, but just in the back of your mind, just know that it will have these layers. They're going to be big and you can't really avoid them. They'll still show up. And yeah, so sometimes I really like to also use beads like this for maybe necklaces, because necklaces are always nice to just have bigger beads. And sometimes I do that. Sometimes you have to blow it up with that because you also want it to go in there. And so, yeah, and then I'll let it dry. The varnish always tries to blend it in as well. So I have that. So then I also put it to dry. That's my tutorial. It's the longest video I want to have on my channel, just for future references and everything. So thank you for watching, and I'm so grateful that you're here and you've watched it until the end. And I really hope you can get to make really beautiful beads as well, so that we can all be happy. Thank you for watching, and I hope I see you next time. You're welcome to comment down at the comment section, and if you haven't subscribed, you are very welcome to subscribe. Thank you. Bye.